How space companies plan to build roads and bases on the moon. Companies previewing their plans to build lunar infrastructure this week at the 2023 Humans to Mars Summit in Washington, D.C., according to Becky Ferrer on Vice. Science fiction is filled with dazzling cities constructed on Mars and the moon, but it will be a huge challenge to bring these extraterrestrial bases into reality. Nonetheless, the dream of establishing a long-term human presence on the moon has been gaining momentum, especially as NASA and its partners prepare to return astronauts to the lunar surface this decade as part of the Artemis program. And as part of the effort to deliver on this vision, space experts from a wide variety of fields converged in Washington, D.C. this week for the 2023 Humans to Mars Summit, H2M for short, an annual conference on human space exploration organized by the nonprofit Explore Mars. Though the conference is named for the red planet, many of the panels also explored the human future on the moon, which is seen by NASA and others as a gateway to Mars and other locations in deep space. Government agencies still dominate lunar exploration, but private space companies are increasingly developing their own strategies for constructing infrastructure on the moon. For instance, the H2M panel on Wednesday, entitled Civil Engineering and Construction on the Moon and Mars, showcased plans for the company's Icon and Astroport to build roads, launch pads, and other buildings on the lunar surface. Melody Yasser, who serves as Vice President of Building Design and Performance at Icon, previewed her company's vision of lunar infrastructure based on 3D printing and additive manufacturing technologies. Icon has already constructed a range of homes and buildings on Earth with 3D printing and ultimately aims to extend their business to the moon with NASA support. We're thinking about how we can use the leverage additive manufacturing technologies to create surface infrastructure on the moon and eventually Mars, Yasser said in her presentation. She said, we're looking into how to create first horizontal construction elements such as landing pads and roadways, and then eventually thinking about how we can develop vertical construction elements such as unpressurized structures and eventually habitats that are pressurized and certified for human occupancy, she said. Icon plans to use lunar dirt, known as regolith, as a resource to manufacture a wide range of infrastructure projects on the moon with a single robotic 3D printing system. In 2022, the company won a $57.2 million small business innovation research contract from NASA to develop its lunar construction techniques. Icon also 3D printed a habitat called Mars Dune Alpha at NASA Space Johnson Center in Houston, Texas. And next month, a group of 4 volunteers will move into that simulated Mars base and live there for an entire year as a way to prepare for eventual human missions to Mars. We're very excited to see what the results of that mission yield and how it establishes standards and guidelines for future long-duration missions, Yasser said. Later in the same panel, Sam Ximenes, founder of and CEO of XArc, Exploration Architectural Corporation, also offered a sneak peek of the lunar technologies in development at the XArc subsidiary, Astroport. Ximenes and his colleagues at Astroport are focused on making moon bricks out of lunar regolith that can be used to construct landing pads as part of their Lunatron bricklayer vision. Bricks are a basic building material here on Earth and are used in all kinds of applications from roads to foundations to structures, Ximenes said. We've been able to make the bricks in a vacuum, which is very important because we have to be able to prove that we can work in the same environment as on the moon, he said. Astroport is working with researchers at the University of Texas, San Antonio to invent an induction furnace nozzle that heats up lunar regolith so that it can melt, then solidify into bricks. A number of specialized robots would then assemble the materials into landing pads that can accommodate robotic and crewed missions to the moon's surface. In addition to the company's work on lunar technologies, It has also created concepts for future human missions to Mars. The extraterrestrial infrastructure envisioned by the company has been beautifully visualized in concept art and videos, but these projects are still in development phase and could take decades to materialize, assuming they do at all. Even so, the presentation this week at H2M provides a glimpse of a possible future that places humans back on the moon and eventually onwards to Mars. And this is on Vice by Becky Ferreira. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.